I want everyone to take a minute and read this over so that you understand that the advice that we're giving is not general advice. I'm sorry, it's not specific advice. It's all general advice. It doesn't meet your objectives, your financial situation, or your needs. Take a couple seconds to read this over. All right, awesome. So guys, there it is. We show this before every presentation. It's important that you guys know exactly what we're trying to do here. No one's going to guarantee anything. You're going to guarantee you can make any money. We are going to try our best to educate you along the way and teach you techniques that have high probabilities of winning. Just because something has a high probability of working doesn't mean that it's going to happen. So Rod, let's go to our next screen so I can talk about our next presenters who are going to be talking about how to eliminate long-term financial pain, which we all want to do that, and trade at the SPY for exciting short-term gains instead. Now, I know that gets a lot of people revved up out here. We've got two speakers here. First of all, let me tell you about the founder of DayTradeSPY. His name is Hugh Grossman. He's a retired internal auditor for a Fortune 500 company. After years of firsthand experience trying out one trading strategy after another, Hugh instead developed his own trading strategy centered around day trading SPY options. That's it, nothing else. So this sounds like one of those things where it's going to be very simplistic and easy to understand for everybody. Now, Hugh will be joined later on by Ahren Stephens, who has a passion for the markets and started studying them while still in his teens, focusing on research and market analysis. Ahren opened his first trading account at the age of 18. Wow, that's crazy. And has studied the stock market, forex market, and commodities market for more than 20 years. So guys, this is going to be a tag team combo. Right now, we've got Hugh in the building, Mr. Hugh Grossman. Hugh, how are you today?
I'm very well, John. I have this feeling that this is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just, you know what? You wake up in the morning when some things don't go quite right, and then you get them straightened out, and you just have, and I think it's your effervescent personality that's shining through. We're going to click. We're going to have a blast here. Now, do I get to go for 1 hour or till 11 o'clock?
No, you get to go. You get to go for 1 hour.
1 hour. So it's my clock says 9:58.
Well, yeah, you can go. You can go for an hour and 2 minutes. This is a very Hugh has had his coffee. They're saying in the chat room. This is a very this crowd loves to ask a lot of questions, so they'll stretch you at the end.
No problem. Let's get some questions. So I don't know if you can see my screen. How do I get you to screen?
There's a little button at the bottom. It's just screen share. That'll be yours.
That's my thingy there. And if I hit this and I hit this and hit this button, a little that square, then you should be able to see it. Let me know if
we got you.
Good to go.
I see it. Yep.
Wow. Through the magic of the internet, John. John, what do you think?
all this trouble, you guys don't know this, but Hugh's been emailing me all morning saying, I can't get in. It's asking me for a password. Help me out. Help me out. Make sure that, so we finally got him in and everything's working. Hugh, the rest is up to you, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks. Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Fine. Thank you very much. Good luck, Hugh.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, you know what? We're all about eliminating long-term financial pain and trading SPY. This is exciting short-term gains instead. And there's me real and live. And I just want to show you that so that well, that's not what I wanted. Oh, let's get out of that one. That's not where we go. We want to go there. There we go. I'm trying to bring up my I'm still not out of the woods yet here. Totally. All right, here we go. So there's our disclaimer. It keeps us out of jail. So I think at the end of the day, you all know how this works, folks. You alone are responsible for all your own trading. Past performance does not guarantee future results. And I think you know how it works. So anyway, so my name is Hugh. Great to be here. And I'm just going to move this along this slide here. So we are your hosts. And there's me with the love of my life, Lucy. She's my Bernese Mountain Dog. She got me really well trained. But a little bit about my background. John was right. I used to be an internal auditor for an insurance company, and excuse me, ran around the country doing all this work. And like a good salaried employee, I would hand off a lot of my income to my financial guru to invest in my future, my retirement. And I used to think my buddy Mike, of course, he's my friend. He's going to take care of me. So they used to send me these statements every now and then. I don't know, every couple of months, few months, whatever it was. But I never bothered to open them, which is really kind of ironic because as an internal auditor, you think that I would be on top of my own situation. But what's that saying, John? The dentist's kids got the worst teeth or whatever that is. So I just figured that's okay. I'm sure he's taking care of me. So he's the expert, right? He's a professional. And then one day I thought I better open this up and just be pleasantly surprised at how much money I have, see when I can retire. And I opened it up and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. They had blown out about half my account. So right away I called Mike. I said, okay, obviously it's my fault. I was not on top of things, and what's going on here? And of course he realized that he's in trouble, right? And I promptly closed my account. We had some choice words. And that expletive word that you said earlier is nothing compared to what I was saying. I made up words that didn't exist. But what happened was I just basically told him, cut me a check for whatever's left. Obviously, I have to learn how to do this myself. And I did. The next day I went down, picked up what little I had left, which was still some, but it wasn't huge. But I knew a couple things then. Driving home, and I'll never forget, it was like that revelation, that Waterloo moment. I said, couple of things I know to be true. Number one is actually a few things. Number one is nobody, and this applies to everybody online here, folks, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, nobody should care more about your money than you. This is actually your responsibility. You cannot hand off your financial future to somebody else and think that they are going to produce for you what you need for your retirement. I thought about this. How crazy we are as a people. We spend more time planning our weekends, our vacations, our, what's for dinner than many of us plan our financial future. We just hand it over to this person or a company we think is going to be, doing great for us, but we never actually monitor this. We think that, years down the road, we're going to open up some account and there's like $1 million sitting there. Hey, go have fun, knock yourself out. And I also realized that coming home that, okay, I will, and I was in shock. And I realized that, okay, I will resign to the fact that I will probably be pouring coffee in my local coffee shop when I'm 80, 85 years old, if I live that long. But one thing I will not accept is the fact that my kids are going to have a subpar education because of this, because a lot of my money was in there for their education. And that's when I realized I am going to learn how to do this myself. I seized control right away, and I took all these courses, you name it, I was probably there. And some of these presenters would kick me out because I would ask some very tough questions. The toughest one was, so Mr. Presenter, you're telling us about this great thing that you're doing up there. And I'm not going to name these companies. There are many of them. And they would say, oh, no, I don't trade. It's too risky for me. I'm just the presenter. I guess I caught them off guard and they're telling me the truth. So, really? So you're telling me I should invoke your system of trading and all these things that you're doing with my hard-earned money, but you don't believe in it enough for yourself to put your own hard-earned money in on the very thing you're telling me to do. And so I would just promptly, close up my books, and I am just so out of there. And one guy actually asked me to leave. I said, hey, no problem. Anyway, the stuff that I learned, and I'm going to call this in the trenches trading. This is in the trenches trading. And by this, I mean, I learned the hard way. And the thing is, when you learn the hard way, you retain those lessons. You really retain those lessons. These are the lessons that you're going to actually retain, and you're going to have, with you forever. And a lot of the things that I teach, I learned the hard way, and a lot of these things you're gonna learn differently elsewhere. As an example, stop losses. We do not use stop losses for trading SPY options because they simply don't work. They don't work. And if they work, you're going to lose all your money. And I've talked to people so many times about this very thing. So we have other ways of managing our trades, no question about it. Stop losses is not the way to do it. Anyway, that's my background. Now, later on, so you're going to meet Ahren. He's mastered deep dive technical analysis in his teens, like John mentioned. And he's actually worked as a technical analyst for a $150 million plus commodity fund. He identifies excellent longer-term high probability trades. Now, he's not trading. He's actually rooting for his kids on the sports field. Ahren's a great guy. It was a bit of a coup for us to get this guy. And he's an excellent deep dive guy. 1 + 1 = 3. So the thing here is this. Now, Ahren would be on here, but he's actually running our trading room right now. See, we got this trading room we had going since 2010. As far as I know, this is the longest running trading room in this business. If there's another one, I don't know about it, but so he's there running it, and he'll be on in a little bit. So Ahren, if you're on, just chime in. I don't think he's going to be on until for another few minutes. But anyway, that's what we do. So this session will cover, folks, an introduction, why SPY, why now, why day trade SPY. And I'm actually going to give you a basic strategy that you can use right now for some pretty modest gains. Also, we're going to show you, when Ahren gets here, his enhanced confidence and profits with his deep dive analysis, and then your next steps in becoming an expert trader for 2023 and beyond. Okay, and beyond. So there I am. Why SPY options? This is your best choice for today. This is your best choice for today. And I just wanted to tell you that you're just, I can't think of a better stock to trade. Now, when I started, of course, trading equities, like probably most people, and I delved into things like futures and forex and options, but I kept coming back to this thing called options, and SPY options is, I believe, the way to go. I just find that this is the best of all worlds, and I'll tell you why. We day trade options on SPY, period. That's all I do. That's all I do. Nothing else. I have not, ever since discovering this amazing strategy, I've not traded anything else. So why SPY? Well, first of all, SPY covers the top 500 stocks. We don't get into junk or penny stocks or pump and dumps, none of that stuff. You want to lose your money, go with those penny stocks. Everybody I know starts out with that because it's cheap. And let me tell you, that's usually where a lot of people end up, because it is cheap. And of course, they lose their money. So the cool thing about this is that there is not any one company that in and of itself is going to completely annihilate the entire SPY should it go down. Not even Budweiser or Target can do this, theoretically. Now, what happens, obviously, they will indirectly affect their sectors and whatnot. So just as an example here, the components of SPY, following the top 500 stocks, the S&P 500, number one is Apple. Excuse me, it's been talking all morning here. So that carries a capitalization weight of about 5.8%. So if Apple went to zero tomorrow, you in and of itself should not lose the entire SPY. It'll go down a bit, obviously, but it's not going to be completely going to zero. Microsoft, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, Alphabet, which is Google, they're all there. They're all there. And chances are any company that you're dealing with in the course of your day is going to be right on here. You're stopping off at McDonald's for breakfast on the way to work. Well, they're in there. You know, your wife goes out to Coach to get another person. You know, they're in there. Macy's on the way home to buy another gift for your wife because you got mad at her, or she got mad at you because she bought a purse at Coach. Well, Macy's is in there. Anyway, this actually follows the top 500 stocks, and so basically, where the economy goes, that's where SPY goes. Now, this has some real advantages. So back in the early days when I started, trading, I'd be involved with these other groups, and oh my gosh, I remember being in trading rooms and different things with other people and we'd get together every Sunday night, all day, every day, 9 till 4, Monday through Friday. And then of course, Tuesday nights and Thursday nights and Friday nights. And, they used to assign us, okay, check your companies, check your sectors. I don't even think most of us even knew what we were looking for. And the funny thing is everything would change by the time the market rolled around the next day anyway. So it didn't really matter. So all of that, you don't have to do any of that analysis. When you're tracking SPY, all you have to do is get in front of your computer at about 8:30 in the morning and see what's going on in the economy. What is the news coming up? What are the fundamentals? What are the technicals? And I have a pretty good idea as to where the stock's going to go today. Now, I'm not that smart like some of these other guys you're going to see on this thing here today, okay? I'm actually a pretty simple guy. I have no idea where the stock is going to be or where the economy or anything is going to be a year from now or a month from now or 6 months from now or, even a week from now. But I've got a really good idea where the market's going to go today and now and maybe even tomorrow. And for that reason, I am able to make money today. And that to me is what's really important. So people ask me, I say, well, Hugh, why don't you diversify? I say, well, I can't think of a more diverse stock than SPY. So here are the 11 sectors. This is the most diversified stock out there, ETF, exchange traded funds. And, you're covering everything in there. Now, the tech sector, of course, is very heavy. Industrials, healthcare, financial services, it's all there. So where the sectors go, you can usually track where SPY is going to go. Right. So it's also highly traded. Typically, SPY is one of the most traded, if not the most traded ETF out there. On an average day, it's not unusual to see 85, 100 million on some days, like quadruple witching days. Don't worry if you don't know what any of these things mean, by the way, folks. Things like that, you'll see 400 million shares of SPY trading a day. Imagine that, just about a share per person in the U.S. trading on SPY on a day-to-day basis. It's amazing. And the reason the liquidity is important is because you want to be able to get in and get out very quickly. I can actually trade, and in fact, years ago, I actually traded over $100,000 on a single trade, and I got filled instantly. And not all the time. Sometimes I have to wait a few seconds, but I got filled right away. So it's extremely liquid, which is imperative because it keeps your bid-ask spread nice and tight. Now, I suspect, John, that there are a lot of new people who know nothing about the stock market or options or anything. So I just want to tell those folks in particular that if and when you hear some technical jargon, you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it right now. It's not that important. You're not going to lose any material information that you're going to miss out on. So just know that SPY is just the best, in my opinion, the best stock out there to trade. It's also, believe it or not, very affordable. Now, I just pulled out this typical option high-low list. Every day I see this. It could be calls or puts. Now, for those of you, again, who don't know, being in an options world, you only need to know two names. If you expect the stock to go up, you would buy a call option. If you expect the stock to go down, you would buy a put option. All things being equal, there are other factors that affect the stock price and all that, and the market price and the option price. But generally speaking, that's what you need. Call up, put down. Okay. So during the course of the day, some of these options, and I believe these were calls, same with puts, they were as low as 4 cents and as high as $3.41. A penny low and a high of 265. Now, look, I'm not trying to make 2,650% in a single day, although it'd be nice, but that's just not the reality of it. But can I not make, I'm not even expecting to make 100% a day, but can I not make 5% a day, 6%, 8%, 10%? I think that's not out of the question. So I think there's a lot of affordability of this. So the way you look at these numbers, when you see option prices, you have to actually multiply by 100 because each option controls 100 underlying shares of the asset. Okay, so it's actually very affordable. So you can actually get into a trade for even a couple $100. And what I like about it the most is that it's exciting trading. It's actually very profitable. And I've been doing this for many years. Actually, I don't even remember when I started. I think it was in the 1990s in a big way, in a very, very sort of a big committed way of trading. And obviously I left the corporate world and I started making some serious money, and I started bringing home the toys, lots of vacations, new cars, new house, new airplane. I like to fly, so I bought a new plane. So all my friends, family, neighbors said, "Okay, Hugh, what lottery did you win?" I said, "I didn't. I'm just trading SPY." So then they coerced me to show them. I said, "Well, can you just put it up on the internet as to what you're going to look to trade today?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So we started a website, and it's just very rudimentary. Here's what I'm looking to trade. Here's why, and that's where the inner circle came from, and then training and everything kind of evolved from there. Now, oh my gosh, we started this back in 2010. Here it is, 2023, 13, 14 years later, we're still, stronger than ever. So now more than ever, why trade SPY? Simply because of the following reasons. First of all, you can work from the safety and comfort of your own home. Why is this important? Well, a couple of years ago, when they came out with this whole COVID work from home thing, we were 10 years ahead of the curve on that one. This is nothing new to us. Hey, nothing's changed with us. We didn't even put on masks at home. No masks for us. You can work whenever you want, as much or as little as you want, wherever you want. I've traded on the beach in Mexico. I've traded in airport lounges. I've traded on, in a hot tub on a ski slope. I've traded just about everywhere, including my cell phone and coffee shops. You have no overhead or inventory to maintain, which is really pretty cool. No employees or government agencies to appease. No customers to procure service or try to collect from. Let me tell you something here. If you're looking to get into a business, and I talk to a lot of business owners, and I've been in business in the past, and just as an example, the other day, actually a number of times I talked to a restaurateur who told me here, Hugh, I have to spend literally millions of dollars to build my restaurant. I have to hire employees. And if you don't know anything about them, they're very temperamental, they're catty, they're unreliable, they're expensive. You never know about scheduling. Then I have to buy food, which is a perishable if I don't, turn it over. All kinds of problems. And they've got the health board and the fire department, all these people literally breathing down my neck, just ready to close me down on a whim. And then if all else fails, well, let's see, COVID's going to hit, and now the government shuts me down. A couple of years ago, I actually had a guy from Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, who his family had a restaurant, and he'd been in the business since he was 17, 18 years old. And COVID shut him down, and the guy was in tears. He was in his 50s. I said, Hugh, I don't know what to do. I don't know anything else. And anyway, he started trading. Haven't talked to him in a bit, but I hope he's doing okay. No customers to procure service or try to collect from. How cool is that? You can start with little capital, unlimited potential, and you get rewarded for your skill. All right. And this is actually really pretty cool. Again, you can actually start with not that much money. And another thing I really like about this, you got some favorable tax concessions that you can actually procure, and so you're not, you're taxed at a lot of times in a capital gain situation, depending on how you're set up. So you have to actually talk to your CPA about this. All right. So power of options, ladies and gentlemen, you're limiting your risk. Quick moves, huge leverage. Now you can only the way we trade. All right. You can only lose what you put into the trade. And again, I want to tell you that is the way we trade. That is important because there are many different options strategies out there. Many different options strategies out there that you can actually lose much more. So with that, okay. With that, you have to be careful, because if you do not know what you're doing with options, you are going to lose your money. People sometimes ask me, well, do you have a guarantee? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have a guarantee, 100% guarantee. Oh, that's great. Yes, here's the guarantee, folks. If you do not know what you're doing with options, you are going to lose your money. You're going to lose your money. I think that is so important, and you can't dismiss that. It can be very dangerous. It can be very dangerous. Hang on, I gotta get these. There's people out here beeping their machinery. I don't know what they're doing. I'm just going to stop the beeping. Okay, sorry about this. I'm just distracted. There's some construction or something going out here. Every time this equipment goes back, you hear the beeps, beeps, beeps. I don't know where they're going. They're going somewhere backwards. Anyway, limiting risk. The way we trade, you are limiting your risk. The moves are quick. I am not in here for the long haul. To me, a long-term trade is the end of the day. And it's the huge leverage that actually makes this all work. This is the huge leverage that makes this all work. So I'm going to give you some results here. All right. The results from yesterday, June the 5th, 2023. Okay. So here's what happened. All right, here's the real trades that I had, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. This is using Tasty Trades. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Tasty Trades, I'll tell you right now, and those who are familiar with it, they do not have a SIM account. So what I'm showing you is actually real. So yesterday morning, I got in at 9:37, out at 9:42. 5 minutes, I picked up a cool $100, 245 to 255, just trading 10 contracts. All of these are 10 contracts. My next trade I got in here at 9:50, 4 minutes later for another $140, and another quick scalp, $60 in 12 minutes from 210 to 216. I was done here, folks, by what, 10:09? The most invested in any one time was $24.50, $2,450, and it was in that trade for 5 minutes. And that was, what is that, $100. Total profit for the day was $300. And again, I was done by 10:09. Now, if you extrapolate this every day, you just do this every day, which by the way is a very easy day, that works out to something like $78,000 a year, $78,000 a year. So, So that's pretty good money. I believe the U.S. average is only about $54,000 a year. So you're well over that, folks. We're done by 10:09. 10:09. We're done, and take a look at this. This is all witnessed before a live audience. My risk was low, and the fun factor was high. And to me, that is exceptional. Okay, that is exceptional, and that is what I want. Now, that was yesterday, folks. If you're not making 5% a day, we need to talk. We need to talk. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to tell you something really kind of cool. This morning, when I was waiting for the session to start here, I thought I'm going to just jump into trade right here at 9:30. Take a look at this. Again, I got into a trade. I bought at 9:30. I was out 1 minute, 23 seconds later for $120 profit. I invested $22.10. That works out to 5.4% in 1 minute, 23 seconds. This is the trade right here. Ladies and gentlemen, do I have your interest yet? And John, I'm going to ask you if you see a questions box, which I don't see. I would really love to know if people are interested in this, because if they're not, I can stop right now and get back to trading and making money. Or if they are interested, I will continue. So I'm going to defer to you, John. Is this something we should pursue here? Let's
see, guys. Is everyone interested out there today? I got one yes from Mary. I got Don calling Steve a rat. Daniel said yes. Don said yes. Oliver said show. I guess that means he's good. Steve says yes, we are. Mary gave you 2 hearts. I think that's better than all the rest. Mike's 100%. Michael says, you betcha.
Okay.
Cesar says yes. I think they're all in right now, Hugh. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So here's a trade you can start with tomorrow. I'm going to give you a very simple little strategy. Now, to be sure, I'm just giving you this that even a novice trader can master. And there's other factors that get into this. Okay. Other factors that get into this. But by and large, this works extremely well. Extremely well. First of all, you're going to use the 5-minute chart. You're going to go to a 5-minute chart now. I'm using TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. These are 5-minute charts on the on SPY. As soon as SPY opens and you see this setup, all right, you see the 5-minute chart going up now. The green lines on the charts, that is the 10 exponential moving average. The red lines, those are 20 exponential moving average. This chart here on the left is a 1-minute chart. This is the 1-minute chart. So here's what you're going to do. As soon as the market opens, you see this trend already forming. All right. You're going to look and see in this particular case, take a look at your resistance level, which I have here on the left. That yellow line is resistance. And that is where you're going to get in right here with this 1-minute candle breaking up through that resistance level. Just buy calls right there. Buy calls right there. Use the 5-minute chart, but trigger on the 1-minute chart. And look at what happened here. The trend is going up. You're going to buy when the 10 EMA crosses the 20 EMA as a rule. But in this case, if the 10 EMA is already over the 20 EMA, enter when the stock breaks resistance, that yellow line that I put up there. I'm going to see if I can change the color of this line because I just don't want any confusion on this. And I'm going to make that this orangey line. There we go. All right. All right. So that's when you're going to buy. You broke resistance. 10 is over the 20 EMA. The market is going up. If not, then when? That's my question. If not, then when? And here's what happened. As soon as you buy right away, you're going to put in a sell order. I'm going to tell you right now, a very modest 5% gain. I actually use a 6%, okay, because I'm a little more aggressive, and sometimes I'll go even more. Sometimes I'll just scalp for a few cents, but a 5% is fairly reliable, all right, fairly reliable. And then most of the time, like I say, this trade will be over quickly. Almost 100% of the time it's going to be filled within the day, usually in the morning. Again, I need you to note the disclaimer. I don't want somebody coming back to say, oh, here it doesn't work, because there are other factors that go into this. I've had people ask me, well, Hugh, I followed you and it doesn't work. Well, there are other things involved. I say, don't just follow me. That's why I am what do you want to call it? I'm very bullish that people learn how to do this. The reason is because everybody's going to have a different capitalization. Okay, everybody's going to have a different understanding of the system. Everybody's going to have a different risk tolerance. Everybody's even going to have a different opinion as to whether the market is going up or down. I can look at this third candle in this red candle. Somebody's going to say, well, the market's going down. Other people are going to say it's going to go up. Other people are going to say it's going flat. And I'm going to say, well, it depends on the time frame, depends how you're viewing it. There are different factors that affect it. So you cannot just simply follow anybody out there. You have to know how to do this. You have to become the expert. But once you do, believe me, you have a skill that's going to take you for the rest of your life. I do not give a rat's behind about inflation or interest rate increases or any of that stuff, because if I need more money, I just go out and make it. I just go and make it. And I'm not trying to be arrogant, and I'm going to apologize in advance if that's the way I sound. That's not the way I mean, but that's just the fact. Once you know how to do this stuff, you're going to become very, you become very good at it. You're going to be really cool. And you know what else? You can actually train your kids, show your kids this stuff. And there's no more liberating feeling or comforting feeling that knowing that your kids know how to do this. Here's what happened to the option. This chart on the right is the actual option itself. Take a look at this. When I would have got into this thing, here's the price. This thing would have, well, SPY rose about 75 cents in a few short minutes. On the option, the call option quickly rose from an entry at 225, actually even lower than that. We're right down here about 210, ran up to 260 and beyond for a gain of 15.6%. Believe me, that's a very quick 5% scalp. You would have sold at 237 from 932 to 935. You'd have had some pretty good money in there. And if you're only going for 5%, you would have been in and out of that trade in a couple of minutes, if that. If that doesn't get your interest, I don't know what else. So there's some rules with this. There are some rules with this. So let me get the, I know what you, I got some, got a funny background here. I don't know if it should keep the windows, the blinds up or not. If you find that the, just kind of looking over here, that's what I'm looking to see if it's good, but I kind of like the sunshine back here. Folks, rules. Buy at the money options. Buy next Friday's expiration for time and lower theta loss. Now, some of you are going to say, well, Hugh, the options expiring tomorrow are going to be cheaper. The ones that are going to be expiring today are cheaper. Don't look at that. It's a false economy, because options are going to expire sooner rather than later. They are going to have a very high theta loss. That's a time component. As just owning these things, you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money. So you're saying it's more expensive. Let's say you're looking to put $2,000 into your trade. Well, you just buy fewer options. That's all. And you're going to get that premium back when you sell. So it's not like you're losing it. Now imagine having a theta loss of 5% versus, 70% or 80% in the course of a day. And I'll tell you something else. When the stock goes against you, not if, but when, and you have a very short expiration time period, that theta loss goes down real fast. And it's going to spook you out. You're going to, oh my gosh, you're going to get all upset and everything else is going to go crazy. That's not good. You want that time so you lower your stress and you can make better decisions. Very important. Another rule here, immediately put them up for sale. All right. Don't hold on to these things, because if something happens and your computer goes down, you lose your internet. Think about this for a second. There are millions of connections that have to be made between your computer and the market. If there's even a hairline crack in any of it at anywhere, that option is sitting on your computer, it's not in the market, you could lose your money. By the way, I want to tell you something else too. Every single thing that I teach you here, I learned the hard way, and that's exactly what happened to me. My computer crashed. I was down for a day and I lost thousands of dollars because of that one stupid thing. And I realized then never again am I going to hold it. The second I buy it, I'm putting it up for sale right away. All right. And go for some modesty. All right. That's why they call me Humble Hugh. All right. I don't shoot for the stars. I'm not going to say I need to make 80% or else it's no good. I need to make $1 on this trade, or go for those modest gains, 6 to 8 cents for a scalp, maybe 5%. You saw what I did there. Do that multiple times a day, and you're going to be out of the woods. You're going to make so much money, you don't even know how to spend it all. Be prepared. Be prepared, because it is normal for options to vacillate, to fluctuate. You're going to see some downward move. You're going to see some upward move. Don't forget that leverage is huge. So even if the stock goes down slightly, your option is going to go down, but that doesn't mean it's over. And that's why that's why stop losses don't work. Very important. That's why stops don't work. because you can be down 20, 30, 40, 50%. You're going to get all panicky, sell it. And then you're going to sit there, still watch it, right? It's human nature, as if it's still yours. What's going to happen? In 10 minutes, the thing's going to reverse. You're going to say, I can't believe it. It happened again. Had I just waited for the market to go back up 10 minutes, I'd have been in profit. Does that ever happen to you? Let me tell you, it's happened to me more than anything else. Put in that good till cancel order, all right? Because you don't want, you want to, again, for the same reason you want the market, your option to be on the market, you want a good till cancel. So if something happens by the end of the day, you're not sold, you want to make sure you're going to sell it. Consider a repair or an exit position only if your option drops 40 to 60%, somewhere in there. Doesn't mean you're going to do it, but just consider it, see what the thing is. Should I stay with the status quo, or should I repair it? Or maybe it is time to dump it. Something happened that I need to know about. You need to control your emotions. This is not a game. Emotions belong in your love life, not on the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't stress that enough. All right. Emotions, greed, fear, ego, and FOMO. You need to be aware of these and control them 100%. And if you're not feeling 100% on the market, do not trade that day. All right. If you had an argument with the dog, if you fought with your wife, if you're not, something stressing you, don't trade. It's not a time to trade. And do not overtrade. Have your daily goals. This morning or yesterday, whatever, I just want a couple $100. I made it. Okay, fine, I'm done. And then go on with the rest of your day. Once you hit your daily target, go on. There's going to be ample opportunities to be in and out. Because here's what happens a lot of times. You keep trading and trading, and you're making a lot of money. And then, it's 3 o'clock, you want to get another trade. The market goes against you. Now you're stuck at the end of the day. Well, what am I going to do? Do I sell for a loss? Do I hold overnight? In which case it's just a straight gamble. Let me tell you, that doesn't work. Or you're in such a loss and now you hand back all the money you made all day. When you hit your daily target, get out of trading. Come back tomorrow. Folks, there are many opportunities daily. And we teach you how to do it. We teach you how to do it. Okay. That's our job. So right now, I believe Ahren is on. And good morning, Ahren. Are you there?
Good morning. Yes, I'm here.
Oh my gosh. How'd it go this morning? Pretty good?
Yes, it went really well. We had a couple of put positions that we're holding on, but we had a nice scalp at the end that we got some profits. So it was a good morning.
Sounds good. Just so you know, Ahren, I know you were not on, you're doing the trading room, but as I was waiting, it's so funny, as I was waiting for the session to start here, I got in right here at 9:30. I was out in about a minute and 20 some seconds later, and I picked up, I don't know, 12, 13 cents or something like that. So,
Oh, nice.
oh yeah. So you can continue trading all the time. All right. So I'm going to continue on with Ahren. Now, so here's want to tell you something. Ahren's got an amazing strategy. You're going to absolutely love this. This is for those of you who want to get more into the technical aspect of it. Okay. And we call it Ahren's deep dive 1 + 1 = 3 enhancement. And again, this is the guy who controlled a fund with over $150 million. I cannot believe we have this guy sitting right here in front of you. Folks, I don't know about you, but I can never afford to buy him if I was to actually have him work for me directly. So here he is. Ahren, say hello, quick welcome. And if you want to spend a few minutes here, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it takes. I've got some of your older configurations here. We can discuss it, discuss this. It's all yours.
Sure, great. Yeah, great. Thank you. And thank you for that. Yeah, so well, I was an analyst here. That's very flattering to say I controlled it. I was an analyst, and I at a about $150 million CPO fund as a commodity pool operator. And I've also studied the charts. I don't know, Hugh, did you give both of our introductions earlier?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah. So, I've been studying the stock market and trading and a forex market and technical analysis and commodities for many years. I originally started reading the Wall Street Journal at 13 in the middle school library, and I opened my first trading account at 17. I started trading different stocks and penny stocks. When the stock market bubble burst in 2001, I took a little bit of a break and then came back full force in 2006. Started learning the forex market. Started reading some of the great books on technical analysis, technical analysis of stocks and commodities, technical analysis of stock trends. So I use this initial foundational learning to really propel me to go further in my adventure of understanding the stock market and trading and forex and whatnot. And so I'm also a licensed commodity broker. And so without further ado, I think we'll get started here. I've worked at several firms, most recently the fund. So I've worked at several different commodity firms. I have a background in commodities. And so most recently at the fund before coming to DayTradeSPY. And so for this particular chart, this is the Andrews pitchfork in the blue, and the Fibonacci retracements and extensions levels that you see from the bottom there. And this is really interesting because in the trading room, Hugh has his sets of indicators and I have my set of indicators, and we both, I think Hugh understands what I'm doing more or less, but we have the saying, you know, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. And I come with a understanding of looking at the charts in a naked manner. Obviously, I trade with my clothes on, but they call it naked trading or looking at naked charts. But for this particular example, we caught some interesting thing that we saw 3 symmetrical swings, as well as the 50% level at the 379, and we're calling that, you know, for weeks because I identified this on a daily chart. Well, at least for a week and a half. We were calling this 379 level before price exploded to the upside as support, and that, you know, if you wanted to, you could really take advantage of a move there. And so part of my background and understanding and technical analysis is I look at some of the same things as institutional traders do, and long-term position traders and long-term money managers do. So for this particular example, we identified the pullback of the 50%, and as price skyrocketed, you know, we're talking about, you know, loading up on your calls. You know, think about possibly, you know, going to the upside, and we had several trades that were winners in that. And the most recent move to the downside, we identified the resistance levels there around the 420. This is a couple weeks back, but we identified the most recent resistance levels at that 420 before price dropped. And we talked about that in the trading room. And people made some good profits on the information that we presented. Go ahead and to the next slide.
Okay.
So again, every day we identify key support and resistance levels, looking for possible reactions in the market. So here, part of the 1 + 1 = 3 formula that we'd like to say, you know, one, you know, you identify the Andrews pitchfork and the trend. Another one, you identify the Fibonacci extensions and retracements, and then the 3 is that you walk away with money in the bank, you know, money in your pocket. So here we have a blank chart of me identifying the trends every single morning. Identifying the support and resistance levels every single morning, and it helps us to give customers and clients a value throughout the day, because we identify the major turning points in the market before they happen. And that's really great to have in your back pocket if you decide to continue trading for the rest of the morning or into the afternoon. So next slide. So price will show, you know, reaction on strong levels of support and resistance down to the smaller time frames. So what I showed you before on the previous slide was support and resistance on the 4-hour time frame, but then we also go down to the 1 hour all the way down to the 5-minute and 1-minute chart when we look for our entries and our exits. So I like to call it the eagle eye view or the bird's eye view, but I like to say the eagle eye view of the markets, where I look at the daily all the way down to the 5-minute and 1 minute even when we're scalping, to identify what the trend is, what the market direction is, what the market structure is, where we anticipate price to turn, where there could be buyers and sellers in going forward. Next slide. So utilizing the Andrews pitchfork and Fibonacci, we put it all together to combine and make our 1 + 1 = 3 deep dive analysis highly profitable. So on this particular chart, we have the Andrews pitchfork pattern identifying the A point, the B point, and the C point, and then projecting that into the future. And one of the great things to know is that the Andrews pitchfork and Fibonacci are two of the leading of the few leading indicators in the market. So when you see a price bouncing on these levels, you have a really good idea that price can turn and start to show these continue as support or resistance levels in the future. And so for this particular chart, the trend was up. We had identified several levels on the chart and predicted that the market could continue up in its uptrend. Next. So again, utilizing the Andrews pitchfork and Fibonacci, we put it all together to combine and make our 1 + 1 = 3 deep dive analysis highly profitable. So we have on this particular chart, we had buyers at the 50% that we had identified, and that price could possibly continue all the way up to the 61.8% extension around 416, which it did. We also talked about buyers at the sliding parallel on the Andrews pitchfork sliding parallel, and how to identify that. I've taken years, many years of mastering this tool, and put a lot of effort, looked at thousands of charts. So I don't necessarily expect you to master the Andrews pitchfork, but you look through the eyes of somebody that's accomplished a lot with this particular tool, and so when you put it all together, you can really identify and have some powerful profits going forward. Next. So combined with support and resistance levels makes this incredibly powerful. So every morning, like I said, I pull up a fresh chart and look at the major support and resistance levels, the major Fibonacci levels, the major Andrews pitchfork levels, and we identify with a high degree of precision possible market turning points and where the market's going ahead. I think it was last week we had some incredible profits in the trades that we were in. We identified a Fibonacci retracement level at the 416.25 level that extended onwards and upwards, and we were talking about the 428 levels for most of the week. And there's some people in our room loaded up on a lot of the calls around 418, even down into the 416.25, 417 levels, and got out when the market exploded to the upside. I don't have that particular chart, but when it exploded to the upside last week on good news for the debt relief and debt ceiling negotiations. Next. And so by identifying the trend direction at the higher time frames, we're able to profit with high probability trades all the way to the 5-minute and 1-minute charts. And this is just an example of combining everything and putting it into one. Obviously, I don't expect everybody to understand this necessarily, but the more that you're in the trading room and the more that you work with us and work with me, you can start to identify diagonal support and resistance levels off of the Andrews pitchfork. So we had buyers at the pitchfork on the bottom there, again, buyers at the 61.8% retracement that corresponded to, as well, buyers at the pitchfork going all the way up to the higher pitchfork parallel, and then finding resistance and then dropping. So price moves in waves, and the pitchfork tool and the Fibonacci tool, when they're combined, can really identify as they happen and even before they happen these areas where price could stop and reverse and get some really great profit. I mean, on that last move to the upside, there was even move from 412 to 415 or 416. Who wouldn't want to have a $4 move in your options trade over a day or two if you want to trade that way, or just identifying that in the morning and saying, okay, the market should stop here and reverse and go to the upside or to the downside. let's be more confident in our trades, and let's be more observational in where we think our some of our profits are going to be.
Ahren, just to put it in perspective, when you say a $4 move, okay, if you put $1,000 into a trade, that means you're buying a new car from your winnings, right? Or close to it.
Yeah, and just depending on if you're what level the options are at going forward. So yeah, that's I think, I don't know, some people, I think one of our customers had I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but he had an incredible over 500% gain on one of his positions last week because of he used what we talked about and took advantage of the debt ceiling talks and other things. So, you know, this is powerful techniques that we teach and we utilize, and it's really incredible.
Yeah.
Is I think there's one more, or is this it?
I think that's it.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
can I answer just one question real quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
It said, do pitchforks ever point down? Yes. I have software that does not seem to justify it down. Yes, pitchforks do point down and they do point up. And we do put everything together. So Hugh has a style that's very aggressive and very quick in and out with scalps. I'm a little bit more conservative in my approach. I still take some of the same trade setups that we have at DayTradeSPY, but you can also use some of these strategies for swing trading, and that's an answer for Steve there. So
this is solid gold what we're showing you here. I defy you to find anything better than this. And I know I've checked. Believe me, I checked. I took all the courses. I took everything out there, and nothing comes close to what we're doing here. And just trading with us. So here's why I think we should. Are you finished with that, Ahren? I didn't mean to step over.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about this one. I'm going to tell you, folks, when you join us in DayTradeSPY, we've been around a long time. We have the experience that you need. Between Ahren and myself, I'll tell you, we have over 40 years experience. We give you personal support that you need. We give you value pricing in everything we do. We're approachable. We accommodate. You know, we have no hidden agenda on anything, and no costly upsells that, well, and I've been in some of these courses, and I think you have too. You know, you're talking about some kind of spreads, and somebody in the back of the room puts their hand up and say, what about covered calls? Oh, that's in the next session, and we're going to be down in Tampa next month. That's only 6,000, but if you buy it now, it's only 4. And there we go, parading to the back of the room and handing out our credit cards to get the $4,000 deal and come back to Tampa. You know, none of that stuff, folks. All right, you know what you're getting. It's all up there. We're very transparent when it comes to all of that stuff. And here's the cool thing. We trade what we teach, and we teach what we trade, no more, no less. We're not all about theory. We're not all about just giving you all kinds of stuff, and here you go, good luck to you. No. There's a lot of things out there we know that we don't talk about because, you know, they're not relevant to what we do. I'll tell you an example. I use Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, but I would say the vast majority of the program I don't use, and I don't even know because I don't care. I don't know the things that I need. I use. That's what we teach you, and that's all we need. You know, I don't need to know how an internal combustion engine works and all the add-ons and the turbochargers and all that stuff. I just want to be able to get in the car, turn the key, press a few buttons, and off I go. That's kind of what I like to do. We have proven programs that work. Over the years, we figured out what works in both training and trading. That is why you need to be with us, DayTradeSPY. Folks, I hope I have your interest on this because now your next steps, here's what you need to do to become an expert trader. First of all, commit to our programs. You got to say, okay, this is what I want, or at least I'll check it out. All right, I'll check it out and then learn a strategy that's appropriate for your style, your goals. So we have several actually pretty cool strategies. You have this one called the bread and butter. I like to use the scalps where I'm in and out quickly, make some money and get back in and do it again. And in our programs, I show you how you can do that with a cash account. You don't need a margin account. All right. And we have Ahren's deep dive strategy like that gentleman made I think it was about 540% he made in 2 days or one or 2 days, I think it was. Yeah, he's pretty excited about that. and I'll tell you something, Ahren. I don't know if you know this, but he told me how many many contracts he bought. He made a lot of money. He made a lot of money on that one. And you have to accept the fact that long-term success is a process. In any of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to ever buy a single book or ebook or a video and suddenly you're an expert options trader. Not the way it works. Not the way it works. As a matter of fact, the market gives you opportunities all day, every day. The thing is this, you'll find that the enemy is not the stock market at all. It is the person in the mirror. It's going to be your own emotions. And we actually spend a lot of time talking about that, getting around the emotions. We even have exercises how to help your patience and discipline and all that stuff. We actually give you all that stuff. All right. And it is a process. And the longer you stay with us, the better trader you're going to be. That person that made that 540% in 1 or 2 days, he wasn't somebody who just kind of came to us yesterday type of thing. He was with us a long time. And you need to align with competent, compassionate coaches. I think Ahren and I more than proven that ourselves to people out there. And you have to stay with the program. Tweak it as necessary. And we help you with all that too. And that is those are the key points in becoming an expert trader. Okay. All right. So why DayTradeSPY? Again, over the years, we figured out what works, what doesn't, in both trading and training. So we've got Ahren's deep dive analysis, enhanced confidence when further study supports trades, greater gains potential for those who want to stay with it longer, and also protects you from entering in the wrong direction. I've had situations where I'm looking at going to the upside and then Ahren steps in and says, well, just so you know, and then he tells me his resistance levels. You know what? I'm going to hold this out. I'm going to wait this out because I want to make sure this all sets up properly and I've got room to grow in anyway, different things. So he's kind of saved me from some bad trades as well. And we do this together every morning in the trading room. That's what we do. So folks, when our indicators unite, there's Ahren. And there's myself. I'm on the left. I'm on the picture in the left, but I'm the guy in the right. That's my beautiful dog lover. When our indicators unite, our trades ignite. Check out the fireworks. We have fireworks every morning right here in our trading room. All right, so trading room. Here's what it's all about, folks. You get the benefit from experienced expert traders. That's Ahren and myself. You learn from our treasure trove of relevant tools. We use these every day and we talk about them. This is not a watch you and Ahren trade show. I want to be clear that we teach you what we do. We do it ourselves, real time, live, real market conditions. Let us do the heavy lifting and all that important pre-market. We get together every morning at 9:15, 9:20 we start, and we discuss the news and the events that are going to shape the market today. Those things that are relevant today, that it's going to move the market today, those things that we're going to make money on today, that's what we discuss. All right. So you don't have to go through hours and hours of analysis that half the time you don't even know what you're looking for. And by the way, it's interactive. If you have any questions, we answer them. Those questions come directly to us, not out there. Now, if you're going to ask me what a call and put is, I'm going to say we need to take that offline because we're not going to bore you. But basically, any relevant questions, we get into them in a big way. And you know what we do is we instill confidence in your trades. So even if you're in a questionable trade, we'll look at it and say, you know what, if it was me, I would stay in it because here's what I think is going to happen. And you wouldn't believe how many times we have this thing called the yellow brick road. This is our own indicator that we install in the charts when it sets up. And you won't believe how many people will actually execute the yellow brick road and end up making money where otherwise they would have probably lost. So the trading room, hosted and mentored by the two of us, 9:20 to 10:30 every morning. We invoke the same strategies we teach that we use every day ourselves. This is also recorded for later review. So as a member, if you do miss it, and yes, once in a while we have somebody missing it, well, guess what? You can actually get in, view the recording, and it's also very engaging, interactive, informative, and even entertaining. So what do you have? We have a special price for you here. 6 months of the trading room for less than $1,000. This works out to something like $8 a day. Buy us lunch. That's how we're asking you. You have two mentors for less than a lunch. Okay. If you actually what was I going to say here? If you actually subscribe right away in the next couple of days, I will send you my my trading plan. This is a spreadsheet. This is it's a customizable spreadsheet to map out your trading career and keep you honest to your goals. This is something that I use myself. Even after all these years, I still use this. Why? It keeps me honest. Keeps me honest, keeps me engaged. And it also includes a brief video on the best way to utilize this plan. Again, you subscribe now, the next couple of days, I will send you this absolutely free. All right, DayTradeSPY YS, experience over 40 years, combined market participation. Programs, hands-on, real-time, real market environment training that works. Cost-effective. You simply cannot afford not to engage with us. I've had people say to me, my gosh, where were you? Where were you all these years? If I'd have known you, I would never have become a gastroenterologist. I have a retired gastroenterologist. He's told me this many times. His name is Dennis. And he's given us an amazing testimonial. I hear this all the time. Folks, 6 months of the trading room, $9.95. Trade with 2 pros for less than $8 a day. Subscribe now. Get that bonus trading plan. Track your trades to long-term wealth. All right, got this webinar special. A special webinar special for the Summer Market Summit. This is yours, $9.95 for only 6 months. Limited time offer, and this is very exclusive. Okay, and I just want to make sure that you understand that. All right, so I got some questions. I got time for a couple quick questions here. I've been with other programs in the past with limited success. What makes yours so special? These are general questions that come up all the time. So I'm throwing this out here. Well, if you've gotten all the best, all the rest, now you've come to the best. I'm not going to kid you. Money back guarantee with our programs. If you really don't like it in 30 days, you call up our guys, no problems. Who else does that? That's how confident we are in what we do, what we say, that we actually give you that 30-day money back guarantee. I don't know of anybody else that does that. And I think you'll find that we're actually real people. We do what we do. We trade what we say we're going to trade. We actually do it. You have any questions, we actually answer them. How long should I expect to be part of the system before I am successful? Again, I just want to tell you that the longer you're with us, the better trader you're going to be. It all depends on you. How quickly do you absorb the system? What's your attitude? I had a guy, Ahren, you don't even know about this. The other day, some guy comes in, approaches us and says, oh, how about if we do this? If you really believe in the system, how about if you give it to me for free? And if I like it, if I make it money, I'll pay you. That's not the way it works, pal. Okay. It's not that our system doesn't work. Absolutely 100% it does if you do your end. But if you don't have skin in the game, you're not going to take it seriously. And I'll tell it. And I told him, I said, I don't want you. Actually, I don't want you. I told him in a nice way, this is not going to work for you. Why not? I said, it's your attitude. If you don't come in with a positive attitude, it's not going to work for you. So I'm only looking for those people with positive attitudes. For those people, this will work. If you don't have a positive attitude, then this is not your cup of tea, right? But the longer you're with us, the better you're going to be. That's just the long and short of it. Some people get into this and they make money right away in a couple of weeks or a month. Other people, it takes them longer. Okay, depends how quickly you absorb the system. Understand what we're doing, your risk tolerance, your capitalization, all of that wonderful stuff. You showed us your winners. You showed us the winners. I got this thing spelled wrong. You showed us your winners, the winners you had yesterday. You showed us the winners you had yesterday. Okay, I just want to correct this. Is this cherry picked? No. What about your losers? No, we had no losers. We show everything. And that's another thing you'll find about us. When we have losers, we show you our losers and we discuss our losers and we discuss the lessons that we had in our losers. All right. So one more question. If you're so good at trading, why do you bother training? Why not just trade for a living? I can do that very easily. So can Ahren. But you know what? To us, it's like a calling. It's actually like a calling. When I started training people, I felt so good about this. I really enjoy it. It's actually like a social life to me. So my short answer to that question is this. Not only does it keep me, I enjoy it, but it actually keeps me sharp for my own trading, because there's nothing better to keep you sharp than teaching other people. And I think Ahren will agree with me that, look, don't ask why, just be thankful we do. Just be thankful we do. And I think that's really what it's all about. And I sure wish I had a Hugh back in the days when I learned how to do this. Because had I had a Hugh, I would have cut my learning curve right down to nothing. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. And listen, wait for the details to come through in your email, and you'll go right to our website, DayTradeSPY.com, and join us. Again, $9.95 for 6 months in the trading room. You can cancel within 30 days. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank the guys, John, Rod, and the rest over at Summit Market Summit for allowing us this opportunity to present. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all. Thank you, Ahren.
And thank you.
Guys, you're fantastic. Thank you so much for all your time.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. You guys are like an interesting match. You know, it was nice to listen to Hugh, who's like more of a I don't know, almost like a regular guy. I don't want to say almost like a regular guy, definitely a regular guy. And then Ahren as well, who's kind of like a nerd, but in a good way. Totally.
I'm definitely a nerd. No, definitely says I'm a nerd. So.
Oh, dude, you started pulling up like the pitchfork, and I'm like, what is he doing? Oh my goodness, what is going on here? This is interesting stuff. So you guys are probably now. Are you guys, when you guys have your trade room, do you guys both go in the trade room? You guys are both working it all the time?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So people get to learn two completely different, I'm assuming at least two completely different personalities, different perspectives on the market and things like that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I want to tell you just a little bit about Ahren too. I mean, again, when he was a kid, most kids at that age were playing sports. They're chasing women, driving cars, hot cars and stuff. He's in his room looking at charts. Who does that? The guy's a winner. We're both winners. Here's the cool thing. And we say this, I want to reiterate this if I got just 10 seconds. I have my own set of indicators for those short-term quick trades. Ahren has his set of indicators. They're completely independent of each other. But when they unite, our trades ignite. That is so incredibly powerful. Nothing compares. Nothing.
I love that. I love that. Listen, guys, we actually put a link for you guys right over in the chat, so you guys can actually click over and check that out. We'll also send all of these offers out at the end of the day via email, where you guys can take advantage of it. If hopefully you're taking notes on what you learned, which gurus you liked, you got 2 for 1 here. I told you guys there was gonna be a little bit of a special surprise today, and we had to bring the analytical guy in at the last minute right. That was one of the most interesting presentations I've seen, guys. I really enjoyed it, and I want to thank you both for coming out today.
Thank you very much. Thanks, John. Thanks, Rod. Been a real pleasure, guys. Hope to see you again soon.
Oh, hey, real quick, Hugh, before you go, Mary's asking, after the promo's over, how much does this go up to? I know this is a special deal for the webinar. How much does the price go up to?
I don't know, but it's going to be a lot. I want to mention that real quick, John. This is a price you're not going to get any other time. I'm like, this is just not going to happen. And if it is, it's a very special inflation fighter price. We were selling this thing a few months ago for $99 a week, and we had a full roster with it. And
so $5,000 a year.
Oh yeah. In fact, my business advisors always told me, you're selling it way too short. You're selling it way too short. So what happened was Eagle bought us out, and because of the volume, they were able to give it to a very special price just to get more people involved. Because like everybody else in the whole Eagle group, I am really interested in wanting to get people to learn how to become completely financial independent, self-sufficient, so that when they raise the price of gas or the groceries or something, it's not a big deal to you. You just go back in the market and take whatever you need. And believe it's so true. And that's I love it because my kids also know how to trade, and that's a whole nother section. They're both educated, but they love trading, and that's really comforting for me. I don't have to worry about that. So that's really pretty cool. Thank you for the other extra couple minutes, John. Really a pleasure. And I know some people are waiting. So
yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure.
Good meeting you all. Thanks. Take care, guys.
No problem.
Take care.
Thank you.